Let's try it again with a little bit more energy. Good morning.
Good
All
morning.
right.
Yes,
I'm
yes, welcome.
Alderwoman Layla A. Cox, and I have the pleasure and the honor of representing the 6th Automatic District. This is our 9th annual Housing Resource Fair, and welcome. I am joined by Alderman Russell Stamper, who you'll hear from in a moment. But we wanted to take the time. We know that you and your family are trying to stay safe right now. And as we deal with the pandemic and COVID-19, we recognize that people still need housing resources. They want to know how to buy city homes. They want to know how to fix their credit, and they want to know how they can save their home. All information that will be shared with you here today at the Housing Resource Fair. Even though we're sitting in this pandemic and we're dealing with it, we wanted to make sure that we brought you the information. So in order to be safe for your families and ours, we've decided to still go through with the Housing Resource Fair 2020, but to do it in the safest way possible. We truly do believe in building up the neighborhoods in the city of Milwaukee, and this housing fair is one small way for us to connect you, the residents, with the resources you need to buy and sustain the beautiful home that you're in and to help strengthen our neighborhoods. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, and thank you, Alderwoman Cox. I also would like to welcome you. I am Russell Stamper II. I have the honor and the privilege of representing the 15th Automatic District. As Alderwoman has stated, this is our 9th year. We are very excited this year, although we are coming through to you virtually, but we have not stopped with the amount of resources and the amount of new information and new programs that we have to offer our community to help us with rehabilitation and improving our community through housing. We have a housing issue here, and the best way we can improve our housing and do better is to partner with our community, partner with the young developers, partner with the ones who want to invest in the city of Milwaukee's neighborhood.
Our next workshop is Buy the Block, and we mean just that. As you all know, Alderman Stamper and I in the 6th and the 15th district have some of the most city-owned property that's available for folks. And, you know, we've always been advocates for tearing off those green boards and getting people into those homes and increasing home ownership. So for the last 9 years, we've been doing these workshops and doing these fairs in order to help people get the resources they need. So this final workshop is about buying the block and the various programs available to help do it. So the Buy the Block workshop will be presented by Jennifer Lamb of Great Midwest Bank, Arthur Mays of Realty Among Friends, and Ben Sanchez, as well as Karleen Cortés and Deborah McCollum-Gathing from the city of Milwaukee. Hopefully you'll get the information you need so that you can buy the block.
Yes, 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 and we're very excited this year about this program. It's a concept that we've heard multiple times, and listening to the community and partnering with Alderwoman Cox and trying to do our best to partner with our community members and helping us rehab our community, we decided to bring this concept to the city, the entitlement of Buy the Block, which is a true partnership with you, the community, helping us rehab our homes and our community block by block strategically as we improve Milwaukee's housing stock. So this particular workshop, you will learn about the opportunities to buy a city foreclosed property for both home ownership and for rental property ownership. We will have representatives from the city real estate department, lenders, and real estate brokers will walk you through the process of how to buy a property, resources to rehab the property, and help us strategically buy properties in areas where we can build that community up one by one. So we're excited. We going to have home buyer assistance opportunities. We're going to talk about our ARCH program that has been successful, and also our Live and Work Duplex program. So Alderman Cox and I have put together a multitude of programs to help us rehab our community. And this particular one is about Buy the Block, one house by one house, community by community, to help us bring back the city of Milwaukee's housing stock. We thank you, and we're looking forward especially to this particular workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Cox and Alderman Stamper. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this year's Housing Resource Fair. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Karleen Cortés, Community Outreach Liaison for the Department of City Development. And I am here to talk to you about some of the resources the city has to offer you to help you purchase your home. Our city has acquired many properties through tax foreclosure that are available for owner occupants and investors. So how can you learn about available properties? You can visit our website, milwaukee.gov/cityhouses, and look at our current listing, extended listing, broker listing, and also our 500 plus program. Let's say you look at our current listing, exclusive for owner occupants. If you find a home you like, make sure you submit your offer before the stated deadline. These properties will be exclusive to you, owner occupant, for only 30 days. At this time, we don't have any properties available, but this can change at any time. So make sure that you sign up for our e-notify, our city real estate e-newsletter, so you can receive automatically the new list as soon as it comes out. You can also subscribe to city-owned homes under new property sales listings. Now, for these properties on our current listing, after 30 days, any remaining property will be added to our extended listing. This listing is open to owner occupants and investors. Offers for these properties may be submitted at any time, but buyers must provide a performance deposit at closing and must complete essential repairs within 180 days of closing. Now, investor owners must have or obtain a landlord training program certificate as a condition of closing. Moving on to our broker listing. These are homes that are open to owner occupants, investors, and nonprofits, unless it says otherwise. These are homes that the city is selling through independent real estate brokers. Offers may be submitted at any time. Now, on our website for these properties that are available, you will find asking price, the cost to make essential repairs, amongst other important information. So please make sure that you read carefully and discuss with your real estate agent. Now moving on to our 500 plus program. With this program, a consideration will be offered for the first 30 days of the listing of a property. Now you may ask yourself, what is the 500 plus program? Well, the city of Milwaukee will offer special consideration to interested home buyers that live within 500 feet of a city-owned property and will occupy the property, or to their assignee. You will find more details and information about these options and more when you visit our website, milwaukee.gov/cityhouses. Remember, we are here to assist you. Our team continues to work very hard to make sure you get the information you need and you acquire your property. Now, for our Spanish-speaking friends, para nuestros amigos hispanohablantes, sepan que si usted está interesado en adquirir alguna propiedad, puede visitar nuestra página de internet milwaukee.gov/cityhouses. Eche un vistazo a las listas que tenemos ahí, donde encontrará información como precios, costos para hacer reparaciones, entre otras. Y no dude en comunicarse con nosotros para ayudarle o para asistirle a comprar su propiedad. We have more to come in this virtual housing resource fair, so stay tuned.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Lamb. I am the branch manager and CRA loan officer for Great Midwest Bank located at 27th and Layton. Today, I will be discussing a few items that Great Midwest Bank offers to our dear community. Even though Great Midwest Bank offers a variety of mortgages products, today I will be focusing on owner-occupied purchases. Before I do that, I'd like to take a minute and tell you a bit more about Great Midwest Bank. We are a local financial institution that has been around for over 80 years with several experienced loan officers and local underwriting. We get to work with you from beginning to end, and our goal is to make the process seamless. With that in mind, what is it that we look for as a lender when you apply? First, we verify your information. This means that we're going to gather your ID, your social security number, as well as your address. After we collect all that data, we move on into verifying your income. This is important because as a lender, we want to make sure we are offering sustainable loan amounts for you and your family. We collect at least 2 months of pay stubs and 2 years of your filed federal taxes, and that is very important. Another item we review is your credit report. We pull your credit report and review items on there such as late payments, new opened accounts such as credit cards and car loans, history of accounts, judgments, and bankruptcy. as well as your credit score. Keep in mind that your credit score will also determine your loan rate. So we can always get in detail in regards to that once I meet with the families on a one-on-one basis. We also look at your reserves. This means that we are collecting your 2 months of bank statements, 401k statements, or any retirement funds. This way we can verify if you have enough funds for down payment or any additional items that may come across after you purchase the property, such as buying a new water heater, things of that sort. We also take that in consideration because we want to make sure that as you purchase your property, you are comfortable with it. After verifying your reserves and we gather all the required information, we determine your eligibility as well as the amount that you are qualified for. We, as your lender of Great Midwest Bank, or even myself, will walk you through the process from beginning to end. So from the pre-approval process, as you're searching for your house, once you receive your offer to purchase and to closing, I will be there with you all the way through. So in addition to that, Great Midwest Bank has partnered with several local counseling agencies to help families through the process. I encourage everyone who is not sure if they are ready to purchase a property to start linking up with some of these counselors that work at these amazing home buying counseling agencies. And if you have any questions, you can also contact me at 414-282-4758 or shoot me an email at jennifer.lam@greatmidwestbank.com. Se habla español. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Arthur Mays. I will be handling the real estate part today. Again, Arthur Mays with Realty Among Friends. What we did when we started our company was we wanted to start a company that actually cared about the people that we'd be working with. That's you. We want to make sure that we could help you get into home ownership. The city has an excellent program that allows you the ability to buy a house that may need some repairs. They do have the funds that will actually kind of help you get it done, but we need you to bring your ideas and your imaginations to the property. Why? Because if you bring your ideas and imaginations to the property, we can find you a house that will suit your family. We want to thank you first for attending this morning. We all are happy to be here. But one of the things as a real estate agent, our job is actually to help you find your home. We have to work together so that we can help you figure out how many bedrooms you need, how large the backyard has to be. Do we need a space for the dog to run around with the kids? Get them away from the video game a little bit and get them out in the yard. But we want to make sure that we help you from start to finish. And what do we mean by finish? At Realty Among Friends, one of our things is after you close, we still like you to call us. We're not hiding. We live in the community. We are agents who are right here. Our office is located at 8301 West Lisbon Avenue. We put ourselves in the middle of the city because we wanted to make sure that we can actually help people who wanted to get homes get home. That includes you. You're probably sitting there going, well, he's not talking about me. Yes, I am. I'm talking about you. The information that you're getting today is great because you already proved one thing. You are potentially a homeowner. All you got to do is keep pushing forward. The real estate agents, our job is simply to help you to find the right house, to negotiate the contract, and to make sure that we explain to you every step of the way. By doing that, we will help you to build your neighborhood, because what will you do after you get done? Don't take all of the information that you learn about getting a home and put it in a pocket somewhere. Spread it so that way you'll build a neighborhood of people like you that want to actually purchase and build a home and a neighborhood. So thank you for this opportunity. As always, it is a pleasure to come to people who have like minds that want to own and take a part of the Wisconsin and call it their own. So thank you so much. Again, my name is Arthur Mays. I'm with Realty Among Friends. Our address is 8301 West Lisbon Avenue. Thank you. Take care.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here on this day, and I hope that you're enjoying your month of November or December, wherever we're at. Just wanted to reach out to you from the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation. My name is Benjamin Sanchez. I work as a loan officer within the department, and I would like to explain what the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation is. Within our department, the main goal of the department is to create beautification and improve neighborhoods throughout the city of Milwaukee. What we do to make that happen is we work with city departments. We work with, for example, Karleen Cortés. You heard her talk earlier today in today's presentation. We work also with partner lenders, such as Jennifer Lamb. You also heard her speak today in the presentation with Great Midwest Bank. We also work with Arthur Mays as an example, a real estate agent that is a trusted real estate agent within the community. So we try to work with different individuals throughout the community as partners. We also work with city agencies. We work with partner agencies. For example, if you are working with Sherman Park, we work with Sherman Park Community Association. We also work with Layton Boulevard West, or former Layton Boulevard West, now called VIA. We also work with Clark Square. We work with different agencies throughout the community to kind of help individuals within the neighborhood achieve the goal of homeownership or whatever goal it is. We work with many different programs. The main purpose of our program, though, is to work with residents like you to make sure that you can make your community as healthy and as happy and as vibrant as possible. So we want to make sure that you are the person that is actually involved in the process of purchasing a home, helping your neighborhood, creating a community that would actually serve the needs of what you want to accomplish within your neighborhood. As we go through the process today, my goal is to explain briefly some of the programs that we offer. So if at any point you feel like you need to kind of reach out to me or any of my coworkers, we're here to help you answer any questions that you may have. So the goal of our programs that we have emergency programs such as the Strong Homes Loan Program. So if you know any friends or family members that may be experiencing issues with a leaking roof, or they're having issues with their electrical going out, or their furnace is no longer operational, we have a program such as the Strong Homes Loan Program to help individuals that own homes already and that live in their homes. We also, in addition, work with many programs for individuals that are in the process of trying to purchase a home. So one of the programs that I'm going to focus on today is a home buyer assistance program. That program can help with anywhere between $20,000 up to $25,000, depending on the neighborhood and where you purchase your home, to help you fix a city-owned tax foreclosure. That property program assists with up to the $20,000 to $25,000, and as long as you're living in the home for a period of 5 years, that program becomes fully forgivable after the 5-year period of time. Now, again, that's just one program. We work with other programs such as down payment programs. And once you're in the home, we also work with community improvement programs. That means that we actually have opportunities for individuals that partner with community agencies that want to get involved within the neighborhood to create beautiful spaces. We have many examples of community projects related to murals within the neighborhood. We also work with community parks. You've seen probably many of our projects throughout the neighborhood. Apart from that, in addition to the assistance for emergency programs, assistance for community involvement, we also work with investors, responsible investors that are looking to participate within the city of Milwaukee to help bring affordable housing for individuals that are low to moderate household incomes. And our goal mainly is to kind of, again, create that space for community to thrive and to be healthy and to make sure that we can create a space in Milwaukee that is welcoming to everyone. We do want to make sure that if you do have any questions, that you definitely reach out to us. Our contact information will be provided at the end of this presentation. Again, my name is Benjamin Sanchez with the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation. And I hope that we hear from many of you throughout this particular presentation. And if you're listening to this presentation and you may say, this is not for me, you may know of a friend or a relative, someone that may be wanting to purchase a house that does not know where to start. please share this information with them, because this is a great opportunity for individuals to kind of get involved within the community process and within the process of purchasing and living within the city of Milwaukee and making it a better home for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Now we'll be available for a Q&A.
Hi, I'm Arthur Mays with Realty Among Friends.
I'm Deborah McCollum-Gathing, City of Milwaukee, interim disposition manager.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lamb, branch manager for Great Midwest Bank, as well as a CRA loan officer for the 27th and Layton location.
Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin Sanchez with the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation.
Okay, thank you all very much. We have a question from Cy, and this is directed to Arthur. Can you as a realtor show me houses outside of the greater Milwaukee area?
Yes, we can. We actually can do the whole state, but the counties that we work in is Milwaukee County, Racine, Kenosha, Waukesha, Washington, and Ozaukee counties.
Thank you. This is anybody else have something to offer? Okay, this is to anyone. You indicated that you have, this is from the workshop, you indicated that you have to complete the repairs on a city property within 6 months. What if it takes me more than 6 months?
If it takes, what happens is that with the essential repairs, so it's not the entire scope, it's just the essential repairs that make the house habitable. Those we require a completion date of 6 months. However, if you submit an offer and you understand that it's going to take you longer than 6 months, we have a special condition addendum that should be submitted with your offer, which allows you to extend the time.
Okay, thank you. This is, oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. In addition, if you apply to the Homebuyer Assistance Program and you are participating within our program, we will work with you to make sure that you have any necessary extensions, as long as it's something that is in the scope of work and an item that potentially allows you to have work to be done at a later time. For example, if there's cement work that needs to be done and you're in the middle of winter, you definitely cannot pour cement in the middle of winter. We're going to work with you to make sure that that gets extended so that you can kind of get that done in the springtime when the weather gets a little bit warmer.
And this is a question from Montavious Jones. Is the Home Buyer Assistance Program income restricted?
That's a great question, Montavious. The income for this program, there is no income limit. So as long as you're living in the home, you're trying to purchase a city-owned tax foreclosure, we don't mind how much income you're making. The goal is to actually create affordable home ownership for any individual that's trying to apply and live in a property that's within the city of Milwaukee limits.
Okay. Should I get a home inspection if I am buying a city property? This is a question to all of you.
Yes, you definitely should get a home inspection, mainly because the city may be looking at the essential things, but there could be something additional that needs to be done, and you want to take that into account when you are coming up with what your repairs are going to be.
Would anyone else like to add?
I can add information. The home inspection allows you to get an idea before you apply to any program of how much money, like Arthur indicated, would be involved in the process of fixing a home. The other positive part is that if you do work with programs such as the Home Buyer Assistance Program, or if you're an investor working with programs such as a rental rehabilitation program, we do have a staff of about 5 different individuals that work with you in developing a scope of work. So they do fine tune those final prices so you have an idea of what the exact cost is before you go through the bidding process.
Yeah, which works really good, taking the 2, because then you're making sure you're adding in anything that didn't come up on the scope.
And we have a question from Cy Smith. Why is that addendum is not already a part of the housing offer when the repairs are well over $20,000?
When we make the scope of work, we anticipate the essential repairs can be completed in 6 months, because it's normally a plumbing repair, HVAC, and maybe some electrical. and possibly a roof. So those items normally can be completed within 6 months. However, I think he may be looking at the entire scope. With the entire scope, you can take longer than the 6 months. We just ask that the essential repairs are completed in 6 months.
Just remember,
because normally a person would be ready to move in or rent a house within that time period.
Just remember the essential repairs is to help it so that you can get into the property and get that part done before you can move into the property. So the essential is very important. We don't want to see you moving in a house with no plumbing, or a big hole in the roof, or there's an electrical hazard that can start a fire. We don't want to see you move into those conditions. So that's why the essential repairs are so important.
Okay, here's another question. What is infill exactly?
And can you elaborate? Because I'm not sure if they're speaking of infill housing.
I'm assuming it is. It's just, what is infill exactly?
The only thing I can think of would be new construction on a vacant lot, which is considered infill housing. So you're filling in a house in a neighborhood.
Okay. There was an option. This is another question. There was an option mentioned earlier this year about the ability to buy a vacant lot anywhere in the city. What happened to that program?
You still can buy a vacant lot anywhere within the city. We did a promotion in regards to 2 subdivisions that we were working on, where you can purchase a vacant lot for $1. And so those are just promotions that we kind of kicked off within the last 30 days, but you can buy a vacant lot any part of the city.
Can you use home buyer assistance money on commercial properties, like a residential portion of a city foreclosed commercial building?
I have worked with homebuyer assistance programs with a commercial mixed-use property. It is a little bit more complex in the sense that you do need to work with the Common Council for certain approvals, and the only assistance that we can help with on the homebuyer assistance portion is only with the residential portion.
And the mixed use is something that we'll have, just in case people don't know what mixed use means. It's basically where you have, you may have a storefront downstairs and 2 or 1 living dwelling at the above or behind the property.
Okay, this one is from Yolanda Gates. What type of financing can be used for proof of funds?
With the proof of funds, when you submit an offer, we would accept a gift letter. And so that's where someone is gifting you the funds, or we would accept a pre-approval letter or a copy of a bank statement.
And usually Jennifer can help out with getting you pre-approved and getting the information that you need, because before we submit your offer, we need that pre-approval.
And the type of documentation that a financial institution will look at for those pre-approval documents would be 2 years of your W-2s, 2 years of your monthly bank statement, 2 months of your monthly bank statements, and then 2 months of your pay stubs, and then also 2 years of your federal taxes. And we'll be taking a look at the entire picture, and then we'll move forward with the next step.
Yolanda, just wanted to ask, who is Jennifer? What could you, for Yolanda, explain your affiliation, Jennifer, again?
I am a branch manager for Great Midwest Bank, and I am also a CRA loan officer for the branch located on 27th and Layton.
Thank you. These are for Arthur. What qualifies you as a first-time homeowner?
What qualifies you? You have to not have, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Jennifer, you do have to not be, you can't have a house in your name for at least 3 years. You basically, that's the first part. The other one, you have to have an incredible smile when you come in to talk to us. Okay, I was kidding about the second one, but you can't have a property in your name for at least 3 years to be considered a first-time homeowner. Good question.
And here's a follow-up to that. Can a vacant lot be used for farming only?
Now that I would have to get back with you. I'm not sure. We do have a program that allow a vacant lot to be used for gardening. But if you would like to forward that information to me via email, I can definitely provide an answer.
When you say buy the block, exactly how can you buy the block? For example, can you purchase several lots on the block that are not connected? There's the gist of it.
So if he's interested in purchasing a vacant lot, he does have to submit plans to build a house. So it may be that he can purchase one lot at a time in order to put a house on that lot.
And I also think when they say buy the block, you're buying your portion of the block. So if you buy a vacant lot and you're putting a property on that lot, you are buying into that block.
Here's a question. My friend had a problem with a contractor they hired. Do you provide help getting contractors for the renovation work needed for the property? And maybe Ben could help with this.
I can definitely help with that question. If you are applying through one of the programs available through the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation, the one positive, and this is a very, 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 very great point, is that we do have rehab specialists on staff, and we help you through that whole process. So you don't have to do this on your own. We do a process of developing a scope of work. You are involved with that process of developing the scope of work. And then after that process is done, we can help you with making the information publicly available for contractors to contact you as a buyer. And then you would go through the property with your real estate agent, and they would provide you the bid or quote is what they call it. And that bid or quote is what you would use to compare with other contractors that are providing you bids or quotes. And you would determine as an individual purchasing the home, who is the contractor that you want to work with. After you do that, we do a background search of the contractor just to make sure that they're licensed, that they're insured, that they have the proper certifications, if there's any type of lead abatement work. And then what we do with that information is we do present that back to you so that you are aware. If they do have the proper licenses, insurance, and certifications, and you're comfortable with choosing that contractor, we then move forward with that particular contractor and present everything for approval consideration. So again, we do have staff that helps you through this process. We can make the information publicly available through an online bidding system called eNotify, or we can make the information publicly available at our office. Now with COVID-19, we are moving more towards the online bidding process through eNotify.
Also, one of the things that when you're having a contractor come out, you should be there so that you get a chance to meet with the contractor. Ben and his staff, they do a wonderful job of helping you to make sure that that person is licensed and have the proper paperwork. But however, you're going to be working with that contractor for about 6 months at least on some occasions. So you want to make sure that you guys can talk it over and their understanding, or he or she understands exactly what you want done in the house. And so it's really more of you picking the contractor for yourself, but picking someone who is licensed, bonded, and certified.
What kind of down payment do I need if I am buying a city property? Maybe Jennifer could help with this.
Yeah, so this is based on every family or applicant credit score, as well as the assets that they already have. It can vary. It can vary from 3% up to 20% down payment based on the purchase price. So this is highly recommended to actually meet with the lender or even myself on a one-on-one basis to review your financials as well as your credit score to see if what kind of down payment you would need. Another thing that I would highly suggest is to actually work with the local counseling agencies that can definitely help you with that without having a hard pull on your credit report.
Are there city properties available that are not on the website?
There is some properties that is not available for sale because one, they may have just been newly acquired and we have not inspected them, or two, they may be going through some legal issues and we are unable to market. And then other ones are being held for city projects.
Some of them are actually also, there are other agents who also list some of the city properties. So some of those you can get copies or searches done for you on the other properties that may not be on the extended list or the up and coming list, as I call it.
This is a question from Yolanda. When looking for show proof of funds, is it proof of both purchase price and essential repairs?
Yes. It's a combination of the purchase price plus the essential repairs.
And as a lender, we will take a look at that. And we want to make sure that you are pre-approved for the entire amount needed, which is the essential repairs as well as the purchase price of the property.
Okay, here's another question. When a lender is looking at income, what if I was temporarily laid off due to COVID, but am back at work now? How will they count my income going forward in order to qualify me for a loan? This is for Jennifer.
First and foremost, woohoo, you are back at work. It's been a very challenging time for everyone. So one of the things that we as a lender will look at is to see if you have been back at work for at least 2 months. So we want to see at least 2 months of pay stubs. Another thing that we also take a look at is if you currently are still out of work, we will require like a letter from the employer stating how much you were actually earning prior to the layoff and what's your expected date to go back to work. And if you're going back to work, the same hours and the same pay rate and things of that sort. And then we will consider that as well.
Are there any other resources available for buying a city property in addition to the city forgivable loan?
I can touch on that particular question. There are definitely many resources available, and this is where when you do talk with a housing counseling agency, and we don't have a housing counseling agency on this call with us today, but there are 3 different counseling agencies throughout the city of Milwaukee. Those are going to be ACTS Housing, Housing Resources Incorporated, or the United Community Center. So if you're starting the process of learning how to purchase a home, I would highly encourage you to start the process with one of those 3 counseling agencies. They are HUD-approved counseling agencies. HUD means Housing and Urban Development approved. And the positive part of working with them is they're going to sit down with you and figure out what assistance may be available for you at the time that you're purchasing. Programs change on a constantly basis, so you need to know what is available at that time that you're trying to purchase a home. Through the city of Milwaukee, we have, within my department alone, we have over 15 different types of programs. We do work with down payment assistance programs. We work with assistance for home rehab, such as a home buyer assistance program. We work with assistance for investors that are trying to fix properties to allow for ownership and occupancy for individuals that are low to moderate households. And we want to make sure that the rent is affordable as well to individuals that make a little bit less money. So we do have many programs. So definitely reach out to any of us as you go through this process. But the main goal is starting with a housing counseling agency to make sure that you understand what programs are initially out there and what is the best option for you as you move forward with what you're deciding to do as your purchase.
Jennifer, can you add to that?
Yeah, of course. So here at Great Midwest Bank, we also offer our down payment assistance program titled DPP. And what it does is it allows families who are purchasing a home for the first time to receive up to $6,000 in grant funds. Of course, that can always change because it changes every year. But as of now, it is up to $6,000.
Here's another question. I am thinking about buying a duplex and living in one of the units. Is a duplex a good investment? This is probably for Arthur.
Yes, it is. A duplex, well, I should say it this way. It depends on you. The reason being is you have to be prepared to actually handle being a landlord and knowing that you have obligations to keep the house heated, warmed, and make sure things work in the house. But it is a good source of income because it also helps you to pay that monthly payment. So it will allow, a lot of times I get people who want to just have it because they want their mom or their son or daughter to live above or beneath, and it just works out as a family house at that point in time. So it really just depends on you.
I had a bankruptcy in the past. This is the question. Will that prevent me from buying a house and becoming a homeowner? Jennifer?
It will not prevent you from becoming a homeowner. So we here at Great Midwest Bank, we do follow Fannie Mae guidelines. So we like to see that the bankruptcy has been dismissed or discharged for at least 4 years. And this allows you to actually start building your credit from the dismiss or discharge date. We've seen situations where 2 years is acceptable, but again, the sweet spot is 4 years.
I would like to add on to that as well. We do see many applications through the Home Buyer Assistance Program as well. If you are trying to do a purchase transaction in cash, as an example, Jennifer was answering everything from the standpoint of purchasing a home, utilizing financing through a bank. But if you do decide to do something as a cash transaction through the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation, we can consider your application after 12 months of bankruptcy discharge. But we do need to see 12 months of on-time payments after that bankruptcy discharge date.
And if you're buying properties that are foreclosed, like HUD or some of the other foreclosure properties, you can buy those with cash as well.
Here's a question from Yolanda. Can I co-buy with another person a city property?
Yes, you can co-own a property, and you can buy that with another person.
But you both should, if you're going to the home buying program, you both should go. So if you're going to any of the three places that have been mentioned earlier, you should actually both go to it. So any housing counseling that you're going to do, you both should go.
Thank you. And we have just a few more questions left. If I am buying a city property, how long will it be before I can move in? This is probably a good one for both Deb and Ben.
That's a good question, and that goes back to the essential repairs. So the essential repairs is based on making the house habitable. So if you purchase a city home and you get the essential repairs completed in 30 days, then basically that could be your move-in time. That's basically dictated by the buyer on how long it's going to take you to get the essential repairs completed will basically determine your move-in date.
And from my standpoint, if you're using the Home Buyer Assistance Program or any of our programs, we want to make sure that the property is in livable conditions, that you can move into the home and your water is running, that your heat is operational, that you do have electricity, that you don't have any short circuits going on within the home, that there's no issue that can potentially cause a hazard for you and your family. So our goal is to make sure that you're ready to move in. And if your goal is to move to a home that requires rehab, we always suggest do not give your notice to any landlord until you know exactly the date that you can move in. You do not want to give any notices until you know when you are ready to move in. You want to give yourself sufficient time to work on a rehab. When you're working with a rehab property, it does take time. It is a lot different than actually purchasing a property that's move-in ready.
Just make sure you stay on the essential repairs first. Don't start doing all of the other repairs that's easier that you can do later after you get in. Just stay working on the essentials before you do anything else. That'll get you in quicker.
Okay, thank you. And this is our last question. It's directed to everyone. What are the advantages to buying and renovating a house versus buying a house that is move-in ready?
I like that one. The advantages are sometimes you can get into a property that's move-in ready. That sounds great, but move-in ready doesn't fit your budget. A lot of times with the city properties, you could take a property that needs some repair or needs some tender loving care and put that money into it. And now you're able to afford a house that may cost a lot more money after you get the repairs done. And then you're also using some of the city money to help you do the repairs, because there is no money to help you repair, let's say, a foreclosure property. You don't have money that's like the $20,000 that the city, up to $20,000 that the city is offering.
I agree with Arthur 100%. So with our properties, they're reasonably priced. And if you're a little on the handy side, that would help save some money versus buying a turnkey property. And with the essential repairs, it's just like your move-in property that has working water, electrical is fine, the roof doesn't have any holes in it, and the heat is on. So with those repairs, those are the essential, and you can work on the other things that's on the scope of work as you get paid. So it's almost like when you get a paycheck, you can just do a little bit more. So it's kind of like a budget as you go.
And the fun thing about that is you find yourself falling in love with your house every time you redo something different.
Mm-hmm.
Key is don't start a lot of projects at one time. I found that out the hard way.
From my standpoint, when I look at applicants that come through our program that apply for the Home Buyer Assistance Program, I do see that on average, the monthly mortgage payment is a lot less than what an individual is paying in rent. And that's very important because it's very important for us to create affordable housing. That means there's more money in your pocket at the end of the day that you can use for other things. Now, there are a lot more costs associated with owning a home in the sense that you cannot call your landlord to fix your toilet if it broke down. You cannot call your landlord to fix your heat if it broke down. But you are able to kind of save a little bit more money over the long run if your mortgage payment is a lot less than what you're paying in rent. And that I do see on a regular basis when you're dealing with a rehab type property. Your mortgage payment tends to be a lot cheaper than what you're paying in rent. I can't tell you exactly how much that is because it depends on the size of a house that you're looking for. If you're looking at a house that's a little bit smaller, that's ideal because there's less work to be done. If you're looking at a house that's a lot larger, that tends to sometimes cost a lot more in terms of the repairs. So it depends on what you're looking at to fit your family needs. But on average, what I do tend to see is that the monthly mortgage payment is a lot less than what rent is.
And I agree with everyone. One of the advantages is actually seeing that smaller mortgage payment compared to other mortgages that are towards move-in properties. And not only that, you get the sense of like, wow, I did this when you walk into your home and you see it finished and you're like, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for and or I envisioned as I walked in through this house the first time. So it's exciting for all of us as we start seeing the improvements on the property.
Well, Cy threw in one last question for us. And he wanted to know, has the city disbanded the program where you buy a house and part of the money you pay, the city stores money and helps pay for the repairs? And then he mentions it was like a city to own program. He forgets the name. Could you help with that, Deb? Does that ring a bell?
Well, the city has a lease to own program, but that's when we foreclose on a property, if it's a occupied property by a tenant, we really try to work with that tenant because they've been in the house, they've been in the neighborhood, they're familiar with the surroundings, and we have the lease to own program where we would work with them on their credit. And then once they are credit worthy, then they can purchase the property from the city for $1 or $1,000, depending on the value. So they do have to be in the property at the time of foreclosure.
So let me begin by thanking all of the panelists and all of the people who came and showed out today to help us partner with the community to improve our housing stock. Everyone that is on the panelists today, I want to say thank you for your support for this community and thank you for this partnership with our 9th annual Housing Resource Fair.
I echo the sentiments of Alderman Stanford. Thank you for everybody who shared their information, who shared what they knew and their knowledge to assist others, to assist those in need with information, much needed information during this time of the pandemic for resources for their home. You know, given all of the issues that we're facing as a nation and as a city and as a state with the pandemic, we knew it was really important to still bring this information and resources to the people. So we just decided to do it in a much safer way. And I just am thankful to each of you. Normally we'd be all sitting in North Division, really deep, sitting in classrooms full of people. And although we couldn't do it that way, I really, really appreciate you all being willing to give up your time and your talents to share the information today. It is just our way to try to be creative to connect people with the resources that they need. Because Alderman Stanford and I both truly believe in the neighborhood and in the community and the necessity for us to help rebuild this city.
We appreciate your commitment to this community, and we're going to continue doing these resource fairs every year. Next year will be 10 years, and hopefully we're out this pandemic. Hopefully we'll get to do some face-to-face interaction with the community and the panelists.
And thank you to all the panelists for speaking here today. And together we will build a better Milwaukee.